Alright everybody, welcome back. Last episode we created a top-down 2D character like this here, and he can move around and stuff. It's not very fancy, but let's change that. Today we're going to animate him, make him look like he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. Alright. I've downloaded some extra sprites in here. Punch ones. We're gonna need those. If you don't have them, you can get them on the GitHub page. Sadly, I don't know how to make it so you can download the whole folder. Maybe download the whole project and then just extract the folder. I'm not sure. I'm new to GitHub, but for now, that's later. We won't need that for a while. Animation is pretty easy in 2D. You need your animation window and your animator window. If you don't have those, you can go to Window at the top and Animation, and they're both right here. You click them and dock them where you want. I like the default place. Alright. So, where we left off, let me get back to my, there we go. Alright. We're going to start by clicking on player rig. We're going to animate the player rig because we really don't need 4 animators on this object. You'll know when it's selected by, let's say, player rig down here at the bottom. Here, we're going to pull this up like so. We're going to create an animation. This is going to be the idle animation. Just like that. And for some reason I can't get it to let me drop these in a separate, so we're gonna do it the hard way. Well, let me test this. Yeah, see? So we're gonna go to add property, legs, sprite renderer, sprite. Do the same for the torso, sprite renderer, sprite. If there's a better way, a faster way, I would love to know it. And head. Sprite render. Although we're not really going to change the sprite of the head. Yeah, let's leave that out. We're not going to mess with that. Especially for the idle. The idle is going to be simple. It's just going to start here. And we're going to have the same sprites when we're started and finished. So we can Control C, Control V. And that'll be our idle. It's going to stay the same. One thing you're going to want to do. Not yet. Okay. From the idle, we're going to have a walk. Or let's do run. I want to do it the opposite way. Our character's going to run everywhere because it's going to be open world. And then you'll hold down, say, shift to walk or sneak or, you know. So let's create a run animation. Run. Okay. And the run animation is going to take a lot more sprites. So what we're going to do is add those same properties. Legs. Legs. Sprite renderer. Sprite. Torso, sprite renderer, sprite, head. I'm not gonna mess with the sprite again. The sprite for the head doesn't change. Now, if you had, you know, flowing locks of hair that needed animating, you would want to make sure that gets animated correctly. But ours is just gonna be plain, but we are gonna mess with this transform position, and I'll show you why in a second. So to start, the forward and the first and last pose are always going to be the same because it has to loop. So we're going to bump it out to, say, the 10 spot here. And then we're going to go into the legs, down sprites in your assets folder, player. We're going to go to step start with the legs. Step. There we go. Step 1. I'm gonna put that. Oh, we need to make that bigger. Let's extend these out. There we go. Alright. So, step 1 is going to be here. Then you're going to go to run 1. Put it at the 20. Then you're going to go back to step 1. Put it at the 30. And we're going to go back to stand at the 40. And then we're going to reverse that. We're going to do step 2 at the 50. Since we know this is 40, we're going to bump this out to the 120 mark. All of these. Alright, where were we? Right here it's step 2. Then we're going to go to run 2. Drop that in there at the 1. Back to step 2. Let's do 110. And finally back to step 1. So you can kind of see this is running. Same for the torso. Now since we did the 1, step 1, run 1, you gotta reverse that for the arms. Arms and legs are always opposite. So for the torso, we're gonna want walk 2, because we did step 1. So we want walk 2, and run 2. Then walk 2 again. And then idle. Back to idle, torso idle. And then we reverse it. So now we're going to go to torso walk 1. And torso run 1. And back to walk 1. And finally back to idle. So what you should get is a running animation that's semi-smooth. We want to take this blue diamond here and just line it up at the 20. And it should be pretty good. It's kind of jumpy. So I just want to make sure that we end at the place we start. So let me go back. So we start at stand and we end at step 2. That's not what we want. 1, 2, step 2. So at the end here, you want to make sure that your legs are back at stand. Like so. And that your torso is back at idle. So, should look a little smoother now. There we go. Just make sure that did what I wanted it to. Alright, and then at the beginning we're going to make sure that it's also torso idle, staying. Alright. There we go. Now for the head, I want a little bit of movement because we kind of move our head. So we're going to go up here to the transform tool, go to scene, and just when he takes that first step, like here at the 30, no, the 20 right here, kind of want him to have his head where the arm is, just ever so slightly, like that. And then on the 40, we'll reverse it, just so slightly, so it kind of gives him a, I guess that's not enough. Or it did not save. At the 20, I want its head to be down a little bit. Like that. And at the 40, oh, it's not recording, that's why. Okay, so at the 20, move his head down a little bit. Oh, that's kind of far. Let's do let's do 0.02. 02. There we go. And then at the 40, I'm gonna make it the opposite. 0.02. Like that. And it should give him a nice little movement. Or he's doing the listening to a lot of Hadaway there. I think it's because it's not divided evenly. 15. Yeah, it was. No, because we're a minute 20. So we actually want 50 and 25. Is that right? And then at the end you have to make sure it's 0, 0, 0. Actually, kind of happens after, don't it? You move your arms, then your head goes. This one happens too fast. I don't know, you guys get what I'm trying to do. just so it's a little more dynamic, you know. Anyway, you can mess around with that. But now we have our run animation. I took way too long on that. So go into your animator window. We'll unrecord for now. Drop this down. And hopefully find it. I don't see it. Oh, player rig. Here we go. So, your default is going to be idle. It's always just going to default to idle. And then we will go to run. So right click on idle. Make transition to run. I can't even see that. There we go. Alright. We make transition. Right click. Back. Alright. So to do this, we're going to use a bool. So up here where it says parameters, click the plus sign, go to bool, and we're going to call it is running. Right. If we're running, that's going to be true, and we'll trigger from idle to here. So click on this first transition. Now here on the right, under conditions, you can see is running true. Click on the other transition, and conditions is running false. So when it's false, it's going to drop back to idle. And one thing you're going to want to do is say 0 or no exit time. In other words, when it tells it to go, it just goes, no matter if it's in the middle of the animation or what. It just goes to the next one. Same when you're leaving. When we stop moving, we want to stop running. Alright? So that's the start. And we can hop on over to Visual Studio. See you there. So here in Visual Studio, we're going to first add a reference to that animator. We're just going to call anim. And anim will be equal to get component alright, get component of type animator. Alright, so down here we're going to make a new little section called animation, and we're going to say, well, I'm going to use a switch statement because I don't like to put if inside of if inside of if. So I'm going to say switch, and this cool little double tap the tab button, it'll make it for you. And we're going to say axis V, and then enter again. So if axis V is 1, so we put case and semicolon 1. So if it's 1, I have that backwards, you put the semicolon after. So if the case is 1, then we will anim dot set bool, and we will set is running. What is it? Is running. And you need to put a comma to true. Okay. Anim.setBool is running to true. At the end of everything you do inside these cases, you have to put break, or it'll keep trying to do the next one. Okay. So then we'll continue. Case -1. So if it's a -1, we can do the same thing. So anim, copy, paste, and then put in the break. And then by default, which is going to be 0, because if it's not 1 or -1, we're going to do the same thing. Anyway, set bool, except this time it's going to be false. Like so. And it already has our break in there conveniently. Alright. Control S to save. And we'll see if this works. Head back to Unity, press play, and there you go. We'll go backwards. It kind of does a moonwalk. I don't know. You guys might think that's pretty cool. Looks a little goofy to me, but it's okay. What you can do easily, let's get out of play mode. You can go to, let's make a new folder. Click on your assets, create folder, animation, and you can subfolder to your heart's content in there. It's cleaner this way. There we go. So if you click on idle, we want in the animator. Here we go. Click on this run, and you'll see that has a speed. So we're just going to reverse that, but not in this. So click on run with the left click, Control D. It'll make a new one. We're going to rename that to run back, or backwards, whatever you want to say. And this one will have a speed of -1. And this again is optional. You can do whatever you want to do here. We're going to do our transitions like before. Make a separate bool is running backward. Okay, do the same thing. No exit time. Is running backward is true. We go to it. No exit time. Is running backwards false. We go back. Then we'll put that in the code. Sorry about that, guys. Alright. Some of you guys were like, what are you doing? But anyway, there we go. If it's 1, he's running. If it's negative, he's running backwards. If it's none, they're both false. Let's head back in. See this work. You can see he runs forward, he runs backwards. And again, you don't have to do this, it's just preference for me. Alright. Next step. We're going to make the sideways movement. So we're going to go ahead and, what do I gotta do? Oh, I gotta click on my player rig. Create new clip. Actually, no, let's do the walk. Let's do the walk. Create new clip. Walk. And it's gonna be kind of the same thing. We're gonna go to, let's bring this back up. Add our properties, legs, sprite render, sprite, torso, sprite render, sprite, and I'm not going to animate the head at all this time because actually I'm going to have to, or it'll use the same one from the other animation. So go ahead and do head, transform, drop position. Alright, let's make our walk. Go back to your sprites, player. So for walk, we're gonna do at the 10 mark here. We're gonna do, make sure it's recording to be able to be read. So we're gonna do step 1, like so, and then I guess that's it, and then it goes back to stand. Like so. Actually, we only have 4 steps, so let's do this. We'll go with 20 or 15. 15, 30, 45. Stand, step with the other. So we need step 2 at the 45. And then back to stand. So let's test that. There we go. Doing these little steps. And for the torso, it's going to be, and again we used what? Step 1. So we need walk 2 for the torso, because remember it's opposite. So walk 2. Then back to torso idle. And torso walk 1. And back to torso idle. So simple animation. There we go. So let's go to our animator and see where this walk fits in here. We're going to do walk like this. Make our transitions. Right click. Make new bools. All becomes routine after a while. Is walking. And might as well do is walking backward. Like that. Because we're going to do the same thing. When it's transition, when it says is walking, you're going to it, no exit time. And no exit time is walking false. Alright, and we're going to make that backwards one. Control D. Put it on this side. And we're going to call that walk back. And -1 on speed. This is a handy feature. I use it for everything, getting in and out of cars and all that good stuff. We'll make a transition to and fro. No exit time. And if walking back, true. No exit time. If walking back, false. Alright. So let's go set that up in our code. So to do this, we are going to say if input dot get key down. And actually, do we want down? No, we want it while they're holding it. So get key. And then key code dot left shift. So remember, whenever we press shift, we're going to walk. Or when we're holding down shift. So we can use this same thing, copy paste again. Best friend for a coder. Set bool is walking to true. And then maybe you want to do the speed at this point. So speed, we're going to make it equal 1.5 F. There we go. So we'll slow down the speed. Don't know what I just did there. Alright. And then don't forget your brake, because it'll just go down to the next thing. So brake. Alright, then we can copy and paste this whole thing. Copy. Paste right here. And just say, well, same thing, but now it'll keep our speed there. So we need to reset it if we're running. So speed equals 2.5 or 3 or 4, whatever you want to do. Same down here. Speed equals 2.5. And we have to remember too that if it's negative, we want backwards. So it is walking backward. And then we have to cancel those out. And again, why not just use copy paste, copy paste. So it is walking. And copy paste. Is walking backward. So now if we do that, she'll hop back. Oh, I forgot a doohickey there. There we go. Let's hop back. Test that out. We should be able to walk and run now. See, it runs. If we hold shift, it'll walk. And that's what we're looking for. Alright. So we can do the same thing with the strafe. You can just go nuts at this point with your animations. So we'll make a strafe function. We'll call it strafe. Like so. And again, add our properties. At this point, the top's not really going to change. So we'll just do legs, sprite render, sprite. So the legs are going to strafe. And this is just the goofiest animation. But we start with the stand. And then we're going to go, remember how this went? Yeah. So, like this. Nope, I did that wrong. I went strafe 1. Right. Yeah, strafe 1, then 2. Then 3. And it's just going to keep repeating. So you'll see that his legs now do, it's kind of hard to see against the blue. It's not a big thing, but then you got to go back to stand at the end. Oh wait, it's already there. So let's just bring that back. It's only going to be a 40 animation. There we go. That's silly, I know, but we're going to call that strafe left because he looks like he's stepping left to me. We can rename that over here in animation. No, where did it put it? Where did you put my strafe? There we go. Let's take that to animation. We're going to rename it strafe left. There we go. I don't know if that was a good thing to do. Yeah, I changed it. Okay. Strafe left. And we're going to do the same thing we did before. Animator. Strafe left. And we're going to make transition. Make transition back. Make our pools. Strafe. I'll call it strafe left. Okay, so no exit time again. If strafe left is true, do it. No exit time again. If strafe left is false, come back. And again, Control D, duplicate it for the right strafe, like so. Call it strafe right, or right strafe, whatever you want to do. We're gonna make it minus, and make our transitions to and fro, and bool strafe right. No exit time. Strafe right true. No exit time. Strafe right false. Now, we'll tell you there'll be weird stuff going on unless you connect all of these in a circle around so that they can go from one to the other. And I'll show you, we can do that later. Not really important now. For now, let's go back to code. We did this one, so we need a new one for the other axis. So we're going to do switch, double tap, axis H. Alright. Case 1. And here where it says 1, you would just put like anything, you know, if you're doing a bool or say your HP, you could put 100, or your strings, you know, whatever. You just put whatever it is right here. We're gonna go to anim.set bool, like so. It's gonna be strafe. You have to name it exactly like you did. So strafe right, because it's positive, so we'll be going right. And we'll leave the speed the same because don't need to walk to strafe, I don't think. And don't forget your break. Case -1. Anim.set bool. And strafe left. Is that what I named it? Let me go back and look. Nope, I did not. See, that wouldn't have worked. It's just strafe with a capital S. So strafe. Alright, this is important. Just make sure it's named correctly and you'll be fine. Oh, and we have to actually set them. So put a comma. True. Here, comma, true. And then for default, we'll copy paste. Copy, paste, Control C, Control V, and we'll set them to false. This should give us like a little strafe effect. Not pretty, but you know, we're just figuring stuff out. We're just going. Sending it, as the kids say nowadays. Want that to be there. Oh, I forgot my break. I bet a bunch of you guys noticed that. There we go. Alright, Control S. Back to Unity. Let's see if it works. Do we strafe? I can't really tell if he's strafing or not. Go to my camera and make the background black. Doesn't look like he's strafing to me. We can test that in this Animator window here. Stuff's getting small on us. Alright. Says it's going. I just can't tell, I guess. Alright. So if we click in here, it is strafe left is the motion. Here, strafe left is the motion. So it's working. Another way you can test it is to go to your transition, and down here you can just zoom in and see. And yeah, it's working, it's just hard to see. Alright. If you don't have this character down here, just drag your player rig down there and it'll show up. So, what else do we need to do? We need... I'd like to make him like, you know, that sneaky stance. Every game has the sneaky stance. So we're going to do that, because it's actually the first frame of my punch animation. So let's do sneaky stance. That's fun to say. I'm going to dock the animator back in here. And I don't want it to override the legs. So we're going to do something a little tricky. We're going to go to layers. And we're going to make a new layer. This one's going to be called upper body. So if you have like separate things going on, and you don't want them to override, you can go here and say wait 1. Everything in here will override the running animations. And it's just this little gear, and hit 1. Alright. So we'll go back to our animator here and make a new clip. This is going to be our sneaky stance. I'll just call it sneak. Sneak pose? We'll call it sneak. And it's down here for some reason. I want that to be in this layer. How do I do that? Oh, I think I just make it here. Hey, right click, create state. From sneak, create state from selected clip. There we go. Otherwise, you can just hit create state, empty, and click on it and put in here sneak. You know, same thing. But we don't want it to default to this. So we need to make it from any state to sneak. Okay? So we're going to use is walking. Because I want you, you know, if you're, well, I don't want to go about this. No, we're not going to use this walking. So we're going to do it like when you enter combat. So in my game, it'll be the right mouse button, I think. So I guess that'll be the sneak. So let's make another bool. Let's call it combat. Or no, we'll keep it sneak. Is sneaking. I'm not sure if this is what I want to do, but for now, no exit time. And if is sneaking is true, we're going to go to this. Alright. Oh, we never actually did this animation. So sneak's gonna be pretty easy. It's player sprites, it's punch. Actually I think I want this one, punch 2. So we're just gonna go punch 2. And drop. Oh, we never did this either. Add property. Jeez. My computer is dying inside because of my failures. I want to work on sneak. Add property to the torso sprite renderer sprite. And we're going to put punch 2 right there. And that's it. Okay, from there it just I think I have that correct. Let's test that out. Let's play. Wait, we didn't code it. Somebody's excited over here. And while that loads, we're gonna hop on over and code that. So if input dot get mouse button down. No, I want it while you hold it. So get mouse button, and I think it's 0. We'll have to test that out. I think it's 0. Now 0 is left click. Alright, so we want 1. 2. We'll figure it out. Let's try 2. Click the left, right mouse button down. Then we want anim dot set bool. And is sneaking true. That's what I named it, right? Yeah, see, check that out. Animation that is sneaking. Okay. So it did it automatically. And that's because it needs a default state to go to. Alright guys, so what ended up having to happen is I had to make a default state because it was automatically going here. But make an empty state and just make that the default state. That's all you had to do. So, and I made this go to the exit. I'm not sure you need that. So, transition, no exit time. If we stop sneaking, it's false. Test that out. So it's the middle mouse button, which is not what I wanted. But yeah, you can see here. He'll walk. And if you let go, he stops. Go, let go. Alright. So the thing we want to fix is that it is not the middle mouse that we want. Maybe it's 1. Let's try 1. Maybe 1 is right. And there we go. That is the full deal here. I will look into how to fix this thing. We'll get that straightened out. I guess we'll do the punch animation and call this one a wrap. Alright. So let's go to player rig. No, not add property. Stop it. And we're going to create a new clip. It's going to be called punch. So how this is going to work is we're going to need the torso sprite and maybe some torso rotation. I just hope it doesn't. We'll test it. Torso rotation. Okay. So when you punch, it's going to immediately just pop. Actually, it's going to start. Torso sprite is going to start at default. Then it's going to almost immediately go to the full-on punch. Alright, because it happens fast. You don't see it. Like that. And then we just start winding back. So we'll go to punch 3. And punch 2. This is all going to be personal preference again. You might think it looks better different way. And then we'll end back on the idle, torso idle, which it already does for us. So what's that look like? Alright, so he definitely punches. But I want it to go from the sneaky stance. You know what I mean? Because you'll be punching from sneaky stance. So let's do punch 1 at the beginning. Right here. Go back to the beginning and we're going to do punch 2? I think it was 2. We're going to do punch 2. I don't know. Punch 1. So start at punch 1. And what we can do is with the rotation here, we can make him get out of this. Make him a little bit this way. And then when he gets to his punch, he's going to be full on throwing his punch. Like that. And then he can work his way back. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I never recorded. Hold on. So here's the stock. Immediately he's gonna like wind back. And then he's gonna punch. So it's gonna need to be like out here. Boom. wind back eventually. But when he pulls back, that's what we want him to say. Yeah, then he's gonna wind back. Right here, he's gonna want to be a little bit this way. So he's gonna say, there we go. And then restart. So it's just a quick punch. Like, maybe it needs to be a little faster. We'll drop this back to 50. There we go. So I like that. We can stop that animation. And we have a punch. So let's code that up. I'm gonna go to Animator. Well, guys, tried several attempts. I just get this weird thing where it won't stop unless you let go of the mouse button. So I think it has something to do with this, but I'll show you what I mean. Come in here, you do this, and you can punch, but he won't punch when you click. You have to let go of the right click. So I don't know how annoying that would be. I'll try to fix it. But otherwise it works fine. I'll try this out. If you guys want to figure it out, make it some homework, man. Try to figure out why doesn't he punch when I click. Alright, either way, that's gonna be it for this video. Next video, I'll probably try showing some interactions, and until we make more animations and stuff, that's pretty much it for the player. Oh no, we have guns and interactions. That'll be the next video, and then from there we'll move on to vehicle, and then we'll combine them. Alright guys, thanks for coming along with me on this journey, and appreciate your time. Take it easy.